In reaction, the presidency has dismissed claims that democracy is under threat following recent defections of key opposition figures to the All Progressives Congress APC. In a statement on Sunday, Presidential Adviser Bayo Onanuga said the movement of politicians into the APC reflects freedom of association, not a drift toward authoritarianism. He cited the defection of Akwa Ibom and Delta governors, among others, as political realignments within a healthy democracy. Onanuga accused opposition figures of hypocrisy and failing in their duties, adding that President Tinubu remains committed to a vibrant multi-party system. The presidency insists Nigerians are joining the APC voluntarily based on confidence in Tinubu's reforms. Now, to join us to discuss more on this is Public Affairs Analyst Jide Ojo. Mr. Ojo, thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting times. Would you say that it's free will when we're seeing this move by political realignment, democratic realignment from the Akwa Ibom State Governor and the Delta State Governor?
My dear sister, nothing shocks me anymore from the political class. Always expect the unexpected because ahead of every general elections, we know this will happen. There will always be alignment and realignment of forces. And you don't want to blame those who are defecting because their own front, their party that brought them to power is in crisis. Take PDP, for instance. PDP has been experiencing tsunami since 2015 when it lost at the presidential level. And that exactly was also the scenario for 16 years between 1999 and 2015. If you recall, it has always been PDP and others. Now it's becoming like APC and others because political parties copy from the same textbooks. They use the same standard operating procedures. Any government in power wants to strengthen its position and make sure that the opposition is weak. But it is for the opposition to also have an introspection and get their acts together. They cannot continue to push and shove, have a series of litigations up to Supreme Court, and even the court seems unable to help them resolve their intra-party crisis. And now, their members who are elected on their platforms are living in droves. This we have seen before, and it is going to be like that for some time to come until when political class decides to behave themselves. There are internal conflict resolution mechanisms that have not been fully explored, which is why they always resort to litigations. And when you have intractable intra-party crisis, you are giving room for the ruling party to harvest from your ranks. And that is what has happened. Even though members of the opposition will cry foul, oh, our members are being induced, our members are being coerced, I don't believe that is the entire story. I think we should also blame the opposition political parties for not being able to use the internal conflict resolution mechanism to resolve their internal crisis. PDP is in crisis, Labour Party is in crisis, NNPP is in crisis, and these are the main opposition party.
Right. I mean,
would they say that it is APC that has also sponsored this crisis within their ranks?
I have to ask at this point the risk that we're getting into, or better yet, the implications that you think these developments could have for Nigeria's multi-party system and the opposition's ability to hold the government accountable.
The irony is this. Let's go history. Historically, you find that in many major democracies, including the Western democracies where we copy this presidentialism and Western democratic culture, there is what is called de jure and de facto party system. Many of them are de jure multi-party system, but which has evolved over time into a de facto two-party state. Take, for instance, US. You talk about Democratic Party and the Republican Party. In UK, you talk of the Conservative Party and the Labour Party, which they also call the Conservative Party called Tories. The point is that in these democracies, there are multiple parties in their systems. But over time, they evolve into a de facto two-party state. Unfortunately for Nigeria, we only experienced this two-party state for a very limited period since 1999. I would say up until 2023, there was a de facto two-party state in Nigeria, which is APC and PDP. But today, with the break in the ranks of the PDP, they have had to. It's unfortunate that we are now slipping into a one-party state. The implication of this is that the opposition party will not be able to hold government at the center to account because many of its chieftains are now in the ranks of the ruling party. And now the salvation, the solution, the stakeholders that can rescue Nigeria are now the press and the civil society.
Right.
Because politicians have shown their incapacity to resolve their intra-party crisis, which is why we see all of these defections and cross-carpeting. But it is unhealthy for our democracy, and I believe that the solution lies in the media and civil society rising up to the occasion and holding government to account.
And the presidency has dismissed claims that democracy is under threat following recent defections of key opposition figures to the ruling party. What's your thought on that statement by his aide?
Well, you don't expect Bayo Onanuga to claim that democracy is under threat. We know globally democracy is under threat, not only in Nigeria. In US, you can see what Donald Trump is doing to the governance system there. Are you going to tell me that the democracy in US is not under threat? In Ghana, we just saw the Ghanaian president suspending the Chief Justice of Ghana. Is that not an indicative that there is shrinking civic space? So it's not a peculiar phenomenon to Nigeria. It's a global phenomenon. Now, democracy has been in recession for a very long time. That's why you even have the coups in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and in Mali, and even in Gabon. So it's a trite argument that democracy is under threat. So I don't expect the presidential aide to come out to admit that because it's serving the interest of his paymasters. But the truth is that that's why I'm calling on the civil society and the media to rise to the occasion, because the political class have shown a high level of irresponsibility to build and consolidate democracy.
All right.
They are the major architects who have weakened this democratic project. And unless we rescue the country from the political class by ensuring that we hold government at both the national and subnational level to account, to ensure that they are acting in conformity with the rule of law. Basically, the supremacy of the law, equality before the law, and fundamental human rights. Unless the civil society and the media are able to rise up to that occasion and fill the vacuum that is being created by the irresponsible political class, Nigeria democratic consolidation project is already getting to a failing state.
All right. I must say thank you for taking out the time to join us, Mr. Jide Ojo. Mr. Jide Ojo joined us to give us a bit of analysis following statements from the presidential aide saying that democracy is not under threat following defections from with key notable figures from the PDP to the APC.